Have you been here?
I can't remember, but if I have, has this city gotten groovier? Yeah. Like, it feels like a really groovy...
Watch this. OH. Yeah. It's so much fun. You should try it.
OH. No. You have to copy my character voice. You ready? OH. That was impressive.
The next 30 minutes we're just going to be...
I know a song.
You know a song?
Why did I ever leave Ohio? You know that one? Why did I wander to find what lies yonder when life was so cozy at home? You know that one?
I don't know that song.
Wonder, why I wonder. Anyway. See, I taught you guys something.
I'm so glad you're up here. I've done at least a dozen shows with you, and this is the first time that I get to share a stage with you, and I was so happy when I saw my schedule and saw your name on there, because I've been wanting to work with you forever. I'm a huge fan of your social media, and especially going to shows and interacting with other guests there. So what sparked that of you like, I'm gonna talk to my friends and do some fun videos?
You know, I think for me, obviously people love to see voices that I do on social, and I can't just do that over and over, and I think there are a lot of people that can't come to cons, and so sort of give them a taste of what it's like to be there, and also I get to interact with such fascinating people, and also people that I don't normally get to play with in pop culture, so it's fun to kind of mesh those worlds together, and people seem to like them, and that's what I try to do with my socials, just make people happy. It's literally the goal, so it makes people happy, so I keep doing it.
And along those same lines, has there been another guest, another celebrity at a show, or maybe even at a studio or on set somewhere that you saw and you kind of fangirled out about?
Yeah, all the time.
You couldn't speak, or maybe you spoke too much.
No, I fangirl a lot. The biggest one, of course, was Jodie Benson when I got to do The Little Mermaid 2. First of all, I love the movie so much. My father passed away 4 years ago, and the poster from The Little Mermaid from my childhood bedroom was still on the wall. And I was such a fan, and I would run around impersonating her. So when I got to meet her in the studio and sing with her, I just burst into tears. And she was like, "Are you okay?" And I'm like, "I've just loved you for so long." And yeah, I geek out all the time. There's a lot of pretty big celebrities that come in to play with us, and yeah, I geek out a lot.
You say you geek out. What is your fandom of choice? Do you have a fandom of choice?
Oh, I like so many things. I was a big Game of Thrones person. I'm really into the Righteous Gemstones right now. I watch everything. Yeah.
Now let's talk a little bit about maybe some collectibles, things like that. Do you have a lot of that stuff from characters that you...
Oh yeah. Anything me, I take it. And by the way, they really don't give us stuff for free. I have to buy it. Have you guys tried to buy a white Raven Pop? No. They're like $400. What? Yeah, not even signed. And the Ember Pop, really expensive. And we have to buy all of our own stuff. We very rarely get our own stuff.
That's insane.
Yeah.
Oh,
and I have a lot. So, I like toys of me.
Do you have a room? Or do you have rooms?
I did have a room in an office in a previous house, and I just got a new house, and we're building a studio out of an old barn, so I'm hoping to put a lot of it around inside the barn.
Oh, that's a barn?
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Oh, that's really cool. So again, we do have a mic there, so if you guys want to start lining up, I have some more questions to get through, but I just want to make sure that we form our line. Now, without giving any spoilers, because, the show is only just the ending was just a couple weeks ago, when you read season 2 of Loki, you saw what was going on with Miss Minutes. Again, trying to be as spoiler-free as possible, what were your initial thoughts on what would become Miss Minutes?
Well, anything for the MCU is top secret. So I did not get a script in advance. I just got I think I saw Michael Waldron at the premiere for Doctor Strange. And he said, have you seen any of the script for season 2? And I said, no. And he's like, you're gonna be happy. I was like, oh, okay. And I didn't really know to the extent of what it was going to be. And like, I like talk about geeking out, and everyone on the show loves it so much too. And I would like to sit there listening to the writers and the directors on what was happening in each scene. I was like each moment I was geeking out harder, and I'm like, that's so fun.
Yeah.
And like I knew people would lose their minds on like certain days when certain episodes came out.
100%.
Yeah.
Like I was in Throw like every Wednesday or whatever it came out, you know, I live in the West, so it was like 3 a.m., you know, so you gotta set that alarm, make sure you're up, because Twitter spoilers are the worst.
Yeah, you don't want to go on Twitter.
Right, anytime there's something like there's a new show, like you're like, well, okay, if it came out on Wednesday, I'm not going on Twitter. If I don't watch it, I'm not going on until
I happen to think, tell me if I'm wrong, not just because I'm on the show, I think Loki is the best MCU series. Don't you think? I think it's so good. It's so clever, and you're into it, and the sets are amazing, the actors are amazing, the storylines are so fun, every character is so meticulously thought out and cast, and I think it's a beautiful looking show. I think it's brilliant. I'm so happy to be a part of that show.
The callbacks from 2 back to 1, amazing. Wow, look at this line, like, wow, okay, hello. What is your name?
My name is Raven Daytona Ring. You think of something? My eyes. Net distracted. Trying to think. I'm like trying to think of something, but there's just like so much stuff I want to ask, and I can only ask one. Oh.
Well, okay then.
How
about the first one that pops into your mind?
How'd you get your role as Twilight Sparkle in My Little Pony all those years ago?
So I worked on Powerpuff Girls with Lauren Faust, who created. Yes, give her an applause. And she actually came to my house and asked if I could lay down 3 of the characters for her for the pitch presentation. And it was Twilight, Pinkie Pie, and I think the 3rd one was Applejack. And she said as soon as she heard me do Twilight that she knew I was going to be Twilight. Like it was just meant to be, and it was just like a favor I was doing for her for the show, and she just fell in love with me as Twilight.
The ending to that is my favorite backhanded compliment that you guys get, and tell me how this makes you feel. And I know it's a double-edged sword because it makes you feel great, and at the same time, when people say, "Yeah, I grew up on you," or "all those years ago," you're like, you settle down with that.
First of all, I started when I was 13, so I grew up with everyone too, because I've been doing voices that long. So it's not as concerning because it's like, oh yeah, I was a kid when I did that, and now we're both grown up together. So it doesn't really affect me that way, and plus, you know, I look pretty good, so.
Hello.
Hi. First of all, Tara, I want to say I'm a huge fan, and obviously, as you just said, I grew up watching Powerpuff Girls, Fairly Odd Parents, so many more I could list. So I know you have done a lot of characters who have done time skips, like Dill with All Grown Up, Timmy with the remote, and all that stuff. But the one I want to know is Bubbles. What do you think she would have been like as a teen or an adult?
I mean, I'm seeing some drawings online. We're not going to talk about those. It's so hard because you kind of want them to be those little girls forever. I guess I would hope that they'd be pretty close to who they were. Like, we're all a little bit crazy when we're teenagers, but I was a pretty good teenager. I mean, I hope she'd still be hardcore.
Thank you.
Thank you. Hello.
Hi, how are you? You've been a huge influence on my daughter, and I appreciate that. What has been your favorite character to voice?
My favorite job that I ever did was The Little Mermaid 2, ever. But I've had so much fun. I've had such a lucky career. I love doing Raven. I love every time I get to play Harley or Batgirl. I'm having so much fun right now doing Miss Minutes. And yeah, I just, honestly, it's such, I think one of the reasons people want to get into this field is it seems like it's fun, and it really is. It's really just so much fun.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Now, you mentioned those characters. Do you have a running tally? Do you have a running tally of how many different characters that you have done?
According to Voice Chasers, there's a website, it's something like 1,600, but that can't even really count because a lot of times you're in a session, they'll be like, oh, can you do this little girl and this little boy here? So it's a lot.
Still.
Yeah.
Still, 16 of them.
It's a lot.
Hello.
Hi. I just want to say that I'm a huge fan, and I wanted to ask, like, how do you do Twilight Sparkle? How do you do Raven, like, singing in all those different voices?
So Rebecca Shoigut does the singing for Twilight because she's awesome and she's in Vancouver and that's where they did the music. And for some reason, Raven actually sings pretty good for Raven. I think she was the best rapper in the movie. But whenever you sing in character, you have to be very conscious of singing how that character would sing, right? So like, I couldn't be like doing Timmy Turner and like suddenly he's like a great pop singer, right? Like, I wish every day could be Christmas. That's probably how Timmy would sing. And you could sort of have to just think in that voice, how would that character sing? It's a good question because once you become a character, you kind of have to embody them and do that voice for everything they do, how they sneeze, how they laugh, who they like, who they don't like. That's why I always tell people that want to get into voiceover that you have to start from an acting base so that you know how to reach into those places inside of you to bring them out so that they're very believable to the audiences.
Yeah. Also, I kind of want to be a voice actor. Would you, like, what tips would you give?
Say that, what was the last part?
I want to be a voice actor. Like, what would you recommend? How would I start? How did you start?
Well, I just recorded hours and hours of my never before told secrets. So if you follow me on social, your mom and dad follow me on social, it's probably going to be released by the end of the year. It's going to be a community of people supporting each other and learning all my secrets, and it's really too much to tell just in a room like this, which is why I made it, because I get asked at every con. So look out for it, because it's like everything you need to know from the very beginning to your first day in the studio. It's 10 classes for the very first run, and it's like a lot of really great information.
Okay, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Awesome. Can't wait for that.
Hello, I am Gert, the mongoose dog from Totally from Earth, and I would like to ask, what were your thoughts before and after doing the voice of Twilight in My Little Pony?
What were my thoughts before and
Like
after?
before voicing in the show.
What do you, I'm not sure what you mean.
Like what I mean is, what were your thoughts before, like on voicing her? Like what were your opinions on Twilight before voicing her, and then after? Like, did your thoughts change?
I guess I didn't really have thoughts before because it was, you know, the first time I read the scripts was when I was doing the show. But certainly I can say before I did the show, I didn't realize the depth of characters and relationships this round of My Little Pony would have. And that's because of Lauren. Lauren Faust, as a kid, played with the dolls and sort of thought the show was not terrible, but more to sell toys than these actual emotional depths, which is why I think this show reached such a broad audience with, you know, people of all ages, people around the world. Doesn't matter who you love, who you worship, you know. It's just like everybody can find someone in that show to relate to. So I think maybe my thoughts before would be based on the show more than Twilight, which is like, I didn't know it would have that kind of impact. I didn't know it would be so meaningful. And then of course afterwards, I'm so grateful that people were unafraid to come forward and say, I love this show, and I'm a grown-up, and I'm in the army, and I paint Pinkie Pie on a tank to get me through hard stuff.
Well, I'm actually a big fan of the show. That's why I came to ask. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Hello.
Hi, I'm Fred Dybel, better yet known as Mr. Incredible on Instagram, and I was wondering, when Butch Hartman created the Fairly OddParents, did he necessarily choose you as the voice of Timmy Turner?
Well, the first Timmy Turner was Mary Kay Bergman, and she sadly passed away. So after they did the Oh Yeah cartoons, he had auditions to bring in a new Timmy, but it was all the original cast and that voice. So it was really just another audition. I didn't know that it was going to be such a big hit, but it was a really, really fun show to work on. I had a great time on that show.
Wonderful.
Thank you so much. Hello.
Hello, my name's Grant. How was working on Drawn Together and voicing Princess Clara?
It was so much fun. I remember at the time I was like back to back. I'd go from like a Rugrats session to Drawn Together. And there was one day that my mother-in-law was coming with me, and I'm like, just so you know, like after the Rugrats, I was like, just so you know, that next one that we're going to is not the Rugrats. It's like nothing like the Rugrats. And it was really fun for me to be doing all these shows that are geared towards kids and then get in a studio and sing songs about making out with black chicks in a hot tub. And it was like so much fun, and to say bad words like in character, it's just fun.
Yeah.
So I had a great time, and they keep talking about bringing it back, which I hope they do. It'd be so fun. Yeah, I hope they do. Let's go.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Hello.
Hi, I'm Colleen. My question was, is there any characters that you have done that you feel like you personally relate to more than others?
I'd say like most of them, it sort of become very symbiotic with me. Like there's a lot of me in them and they influence me. I'd say maybe mostly Raven and Bubbles and I don't know, Miss Minutes lately. She's got under my skin, man. Yeah, I'd say maybe those. Oh, and Batgirl, I just felt very connected to her. But I really have a connection to every character I've played.
Awesome, thank you so much.
I love that phrase, getting under my skin.
She is, man.
Hello.
Hello, my name is Khalid, and my question is, which would you rather live without, ice cream or pizza?
Would you rather live without ice cream or pizza?
Well, I'm vegan, so there's actually quite a lot of good vegan ice cream and pizza. Gosh, if I had to give up one, I'd probably say ice cream. Probably.
What about you?
Well, I do enjoy both, but I have to say sorry to ice cream. I love pizza.
Yeah, pizza's pretty great. I think I crave salty more than sweet for the most part.
Thank you.
Hello.
Hi,
No pressure, you're only on the big screen.
my name is Hermione, but you can call me Nezuko for obvious reasons. And I was just wondering, could you do like your favorite, could you say your favorite quote from your favorite character, maybe?
My favorite quote from my favorite character
That you've played.
that I played.
Yeah.
Oh gosh. I mean, I have so many, it would be really hard. But I would probably say that I'm definitely the prettiest girl at the party.
Yes, you are.
And also Azeroth, Metreon, Zinthos.
Hello.
Hello, my name is Gio, and yeah, you played a lot of characters. Like, I grew up with a lot of shows that you were involved in, and my question is, what do you think was probably the most obscure character you played out of anyone you played?
Well, certainly like an incidental character like we were talking about, like some background character. But maybe one that would be fun if it got more love would be like Kilgore. You guys remember Kilgore? It was like on Teenage Robot. It was really funny.
I do.
Yeah, he wanted to kind of kill everybody. That was fun. I don't know where to put this. Anyway, I don't know. That's a good question. It's fun when fans like find stuff. They're like, "You were this." I'm like, "I was." I forget.
Hey, thank you.
Thank you so much. Hello.
Hi, my name's Andy, and my question is, you've played so many different roles that we all remember. What's the one role that you think would be your legacy character if you, in the long future, retire from your career?
Well, I hope I don't retire. I hope I'm like, I June foray it, you know, like I hope I do it till I drop. I don't know, I feel like I feel like Raven and Twilight were very important to people's sanity, you know, like a lot of people say I felt really alone till I saw Raven, or like they didn't think they could go on without having this character to relate to, and she really helped them. And same with Twilight, like people were like, I had no friends till My Little Pony, or I didn't know how to express myself. So, I mean, I would hope people would remember me for a bunch, but I think probably those two. I don't know.
What would you say your favorite Terra character is?
I actually grew up on Teen Titans, so Raven is actually would be my
I
legacy
just think
character.
she's important. Like she feels like a real entity to me. Like she speaks to people in a way that it just feels important, you know?
Yeah, she was definitely like the linchpin that kept the team together. But thank you.
You're welcome.
Hello.
Hello. So obviously you've played just hundreds of characters, a lot of them sounding very different from each other, and I'm curious, what's the thought process in picking how that character sounds?
Well, all this is much broader in my class, but basically when you get an audition for something, they have a character description that's anywhere from 1, 2, 3 lines to a page, and it's basic information that you need to know about that character, like their age, if they have an accent, things about their personality that you'll weave into your audition. Then there's something called sides, which is a portion of the script, and often you'll get a drawing, which I love, and you sort of look at the drawing and read the character description and also read the lines and read the stage directions in between the lines so you know what's going on, and then you as the actor have to try to figure out what production wants. And I usually give 2 or 3 different choices, and sometimes something way off choice, like maybe there's like a really ugly looking alien, but you kind of make her hot. And then like someone goes, oh, I didn't think of that, because they're, you know, a casting director is going through hundreds of auditions. So what's sort of going to set you apart without going too over the top with improv? You know, it's okay to improv a little, but I've done some casting, I've seen people really blow auditions because they were way off script. And so the director or other production is going to think this person can't stick to script. So within the parameters of what they give you, you sort of have to trust your instincts and hope that you give them what they're looking for.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Hello. Hi, my name is Noah, and let me just really quick say you shaped a lot of characters throughout my childhood, including Fairly Odd Parents and My Little Pony. Thank you for that. Alright, so my question is, I understand you had some connection with the 5th generation of My Little Pony, including voicing Twilight and some of the moments in the Make and Mark series. And just last week on Thanksgiving, actually, they released Chapter 6. And I don't know what's wrong with people these days, but I see so much hate over the 5th incarnation because they believe it's supposed to live up to the legacy of Generation 4. And my question for you is, what are your thoughts on Generation 5 since you've had some connection?
I actually haven't watched any of the gen that I'm not in, so I don't really have thoughts. I'm sure it's wonderful. I mean, do you like it? I haven't seen any of it, so.
Personally, yes, because it really focuses on unity, but
Yeah.
do you just feel like anything will live up to G4, or what do you think fans should expect for the future?
I mean, I wish I was the boss. I'd keep doing mine forever, but yeah, I'm sorry, I haven't seen it, so I don't really have an opinion on it. It looks adorable.
I think I got it. Hello.
Hello. You voiced a lot of characters from obviously Twilight Sparkle and Timmy Turner to Raven from Teen Titans. What is a character that you wish you could have voiced?
I mean, I wish I could have been one of the main characters on The Simpsons, because that was a nice paycheck. That's fair. No other show pays like that. None. Nothing. And they keep going. They actually cast that like pretty shortly before I moved to LA, so I just missed that. But anyway, thank you. You're welcome.
Hello.
Hi. I'm so sorry, my voice is like dying. But I was wondering, like just looking at Miss Minutes' cartoonish design, did you ever expect to see that kind of character in a Marvel film?
No, not at all, and I'm so grateful that the fans have fallen in love with her, because it's kind of a risk to put an animated character that, is she sentient, is she not sentient? in this show, and like she wasn't in the Marvel world before, she was never in a comic, and just how Arlene was for Harley, creating this voice for a character that didn't exist before the show, for people to fall in love with that character is like very meaningful. I'm very, very grateful. But no, I did not know it was going to be that fantastic, and I'm pretty happy with it. Thank you. You're welcome.
Hello.
Hello, that was loud. Someone else took my question, so I had to think of something else. Is there a character that you voiced in the past that you look back on now and you view them with like a different voice, or maybe you're like, there's something you wish you could have changed about it?
Let me get the question.
So, is there a character that you have done that, when looking back on it, that maybe you wish that you could redo, like to do like a different spin? Is that it?
Yeah.
Yeah, look at that. I got it.
No, everything I've done has been pretty hardcore. I really don't. I mean, that, you know, I feel pretty good about it.
Thank you. So we have a little bit more than 5 minutes, so we're going to try to get through everybody that we can. Hello, what's your question?
Leon Kennedy. I'm just here. One question, one comment. One, do I look pretty?
Of course, you're the prettiest at the party!
And then comment. That raven, I swear. Thank you, Miss Strong.
Top that.
I definitely couldn't top that, but hi Tara, I'm Sam, I met you earlier today, and my question was, what do you think was the most challenging character you ever played?
I mean, probably vocally, Terrence from Foster's Home was more challenging because he was always so mean. Loser. Like, he was never nice. I mean, I think there was one episode where he was nice. Yeah. So, but also, I still found ways to do it without hurting myself, but probably initially that was the hardest.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. Hello.
Hi. I was wondering, do you prefer which do you prefer, voicing on television or voicing for video games? Like, which one is easier to record for?
I mean, they're both very wonderful, and I love, especially doing Harley on video games. I get really excited. It's like my therapy. But there's something a little more fun about full cast recordings for animation, because we get to play off each other, and video games, you're by yourself. But I really do love doing both. They're like very important to me, very special, very fun and meaningful. It's just less work also, because when it's just you for a video game, even if you're not doing 1,000 death zones, you get tired, right? Just you for 4 hours talking. So when you're in a session with other actors, you get a little more break. So it's a little bit easier to do like a group record for a cartoon series than it is to do a video game.
Thank you.
Hello.
Hi, I'm sorry, I'm really nervous. So, out of all of the My Little Pony Generation 4 characters, which one could you relate to the most? Not just yes, counting Twilight Sparkle, but out of all of them.
Probably, other than Twilight, you mean? I'm a lot like Twilight. I really am. I really want to make sure everyone's friends, you know? And I like to read, and I get stressed I don't have enough time to read everything I want to read. And I like my alone time, and I really like magic. I'm probably most like my own character. But I have a lot of Pinkie Pie in me. I thought I'd probably book Pinkie Pie, because she's kind of like Bubbles. She kind of is.
Yeah, I can see that.
Probably those two.
Thank you.
Thank you. Hello.
Hello. Have you ever gotten into crazy shenanigans behind the scenes with fellow cast members?
Oh yes, we get pretty crazy. I'm not sharing those stories. There's children here.
I watched the first episode of Loki, and it was already amazing, but as soon as Miss Minutes appeared on screen, I just fell in love with it. And then your sparkly accent and voicing everything, it just made it so much better. So I was just wondering, how do you develop your accents?
That's a good question. So most voiceover artists are singers. We have good ears. We can mimic accents pretty well. And most of us have English, Southern in our back pocket, right? And Jim Cummings grew up on the bayou, so he made us all look terrible. So.
Jim Cummings definitely does have the best
Yeah, he
Asian
really
accent.
does. He really does. But if there's an accent that I don't know, I'll go on to the Speech Accent Archives, which has actual accents, not just actors showing you how to do it on YouTube, or I'll listen to speakers from that area, and if I really can't find anyone, I'll call them. Like, I had to do like a Worcester accent, and I'm like, what's a Worcester accent? So I'm like, I know if I call like Baskin Robbins in Worcester. They're gonna have a Worcester accent. So I called and I asked this girl if she could read the lines for me, and she did. And then she's like, am I gonna be on TV? I'm like, no, I am.
That's the greatest research technique I have ever heard.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. That's fantastic. Hello.
My name is Natalie, and you've worked with a lot of people over your career, a lot of talented voice actors and actresses, and I'm just wondering who are some of the favorite people you've worked with, and who's somebody you want to work with again?
That I want to work with again? It is like it's a small world, people that do a ton of cartoons, and I have to say this is not BS. For the most part, they're the most wonderful, like giving, generous, authentic, kind humans in the world. They really are. I've been working with Cree Summer since I'm 13. She's like a sister to me. Maurice LaMarche was on the job that saved me in Los Angeles because I'd already worked for 20 years in Toronto. Well, I started at 13, I left Toronto when I was 20, and I came to LA, and it took me a while, like I was eviction notice broke. Like, it took me a while to get noticed, and I did Gadget Boy and Heather with Maurice, and he's really wonderful, but like, it'd be very hard to pick a favorite, because they're all really wonderful, and every time we get in the booth, it's like, no time has passed. Like, we all really love each other. It's also another reason to do cons, especially since COVID, because we haven't been in the booth together, so like, I've had so much fun reconnecting with some of my fellow castmates here, and hanging out with Richard Harvitz, who, you know, was in Ben 10 with me, and I did Angry Beavers a million years ago. But we all really love each other. It'd be very hard to pick a favorite. E.G. Daily and I are like, we look like sisters. People confuse us all the time.
All right, so we're just about out of time, so as fast as possible.
My name's Richard, and I was just wondering, how was it working with Mark Hamill?
You know, when I booked Batgirl, I was so stoked because it was early on in my LA career, and there were a lot of big celebrities in that room. And my agent called, and he's like, "Oh my God, you're her, you're the girl that's a bat, you're Batgirl." I was like, "Oh my God!" And I like collected Batgirl stuff when I was a kid, so I was like, "That's so cool." And then I was sitting in between Mark Hamill and Kevin Conroy, like just inching myself, like, "Am I really here right now?" And it happens that A-list celebrities come in to do voiceover, but I always say it's like asking a tap dancer if they do ballet. Not everybody does. And there are a lot of great big actors that can do voiceover, but there are a lot that really can't. But Mark is one of those that's just brilliant at both. And like, when he would do the Joker, you would just watch him. Like, you couldn't not be enamored with his performance. And also, both Mark and Kevin are well, we lost Kevin, but very giving actors that make you feel like you belong and you're part of their world, and it's just like, it was a really magical, great experience.
All right, thank you.
Look, make it fast.
Hi, my name is Devin.
Thank you guys, thank you.
I was wondering that I recently just got finished binge watching Teen Titans OG season from season like all the way to season 5, and I was just wondering, like, what's your favorite motivation as playing as Raven?
What was the favorite?
What did you like most about playing Raven?
What did you like most about
What did I like most? I just love her, you know, as a human, and like I said, I felt very connected to her, and I think the fact that no matter what was going on, no matter how big the action or crazy was, she was always so grounded. Like, the hardest part of voicing Raven is if there's a big action sequence, it's hard to keep that little guttural roll in the back. And I remember Jeff Bennett visiting or coming on the show, OG, and he's like, "Wow, Tara, you're working really hard on the show," because like I was just down here the whole time, whatever's going on. But I just loved her. Like, she's just such a cool character. I loved everything about her.
And thank you. Can you maybe say your favorite quote as the Raven voice and the Harley voice? I'm a big Arkham fan too.
We have to go, but if you, I promise if you stop by Tara's table, you're gonna be
Yeah,
at the
come by my
table.
table.
Come by the
I'm here all
table.
day.
Yeah, come by the table.
Thank you, Tara.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Hi, it's me again. I was just wondering if you are a Swiftie, like a big Taylor Swift fan.
What'd you say?
Big.
Taylor Swift fan?
Are you a Swiftie?
I mean, I definitely love Taylor Swift. First of all, she writes her own music. She's gorgeous. She's an amazing musician, an amazing singer. And every time I've seen her speak, she's a really good human. So yeah, I mean, I don't know all her songs by heart, but like what I know of her, I absolutely like love her. She's amazing.
Are you a Swiftie?
That's an understatement.
Where are our Swifties at? All right. That is going to be our time. First, please give it up one more time.